All right, folks, welcome to Hard Hat Conversations. I'm your host, Richard, stationed here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today is June the 27th, 2025, on a Friday evening. I'd like to thank all that's been listening to me and those who's joining today. Welcome to a podcast that talks about all types of issues, and we'll also try to come up with some solutions as well, folks. So let's do it. Folks, I'm just going to start off with something real quick. I usually don't do a lot of commentary, but I'm going to do a little bit of commentary today, just for a few minutes to start off the show because and a lot of my commentaries are factual. So, um, we live in a society right now where, let's be honest, the rich is in control. People with power and money, they make the laws, they run the show. I never seen a poor person run the show, including myself. So that's just I want to just say that to just start off the bat that we all know that rich people run the show. They make the laws, they make the rules, and they're in charge. Whether we like it or not, they are. Even though it's more poor people than rich people. That's why they call it the 1%, folks. Nothing new, I'm telling you. We already know this. So the reason I'm saying this is because today the Supreme Court did a 6-3 ruling on some things that President Donald Trump is doing. Like I said, Republicans some good things, Democrats a few good things. I'm in the middle, like all of us should be in the middle, and we pick what's best for us. Because if we are tunnel vision and we just stay with the same old party or whatever you want to call it, then we're losing because the same old party can't have all the right answers all the time. I can't have the right answers all the time. You can't have them. So we got to pick and choose what little bit we like. So if you keep labeling yourself, that's what they want. The rich and the famous, they want you to keep labeling yourself. And that way you can be on their side. That's how they make their money, folks. It's just the truth. Um, the reason I said this is because, like I said, the Supreme Court. Let me go to my notes, folks. I like to go to my notes. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you hear anything good. They did a 6-3 ruling today. Donald Trump is trying to do a few things. And here's just a few, folks, just to start off. There's many more, but just a few. He wants to end birthing rights for citizenship. I think that means like if an illegal alien come across the border or anywhere in the world and then come through the right way and then they stay here and have a child or two, he want to end that where that child become an automatic citizen because a lot of people, including himself, feel that if you come over here illegally, you have no rights. You broke the law, which is true. You broke the law. Whether we like it or not, you broke the law. Uh, he also want to end sanctuary cities. What do you think, folks? Should there be sanctuary cities for people breaking the law and illegal aliens coming across from different countries? You are a taxpayer. You are an American citizen. You have to follow laws. You have to carry IDs. You have to have vaccinations and such. Is it right that people just come on over and just get in and don't have to go through those things as an American citizen that's born here has to do it? I see the argument. I understand it. I agree to it to a certain point. Yeah, you shouldn't have no sanctuary cities. We have to put the onus on those governments that they're running from, folks. Of course, we're going to let people in, but they got to come in the right way. I know you're going to have a handful that come over without the rules, but when you have lots of them like Joe Biden brought in last year, you just let them come across, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's when people get uproar about it. Now, if you have a few here and there, that's fine. People are not going to go crazy. But if you have thousands come over like that and then eat up the resources from the poor that's already here and the working poor that's working to support those welfare programs, it's going to be a problem. And they do have, the American citizens do have a right to be in uproar. And a lot of time it's not about racism. You might have like maybe 1% of that, but the majority of Americans are saying, I got to follow the rules. Why can't they follow the rules? If I go in another country, I better have a passport or I'm going to get deported. So I understand it, folks. And I agree, like I said, I agree with it to some point. Another thing is, let me see, folks, I wrote on a little pad today. Bear with me. No federal dollars for transgender services. That's, a male want to become a female or vice versa, female want to become a man. Should that be paid with taxpayers' dollars, folks? Because I consider that plastic surgery. If you want plastic surgery, you have to go through your insurance or pay out of your pocket. So why don't they have to pay for it out of their pocket? Nobody's telling them they can't do it. They just say you just got to pay for it. Okay? What's wrong with that? Let's see what else I got here. Also in the schools, public libraries especially, they want to petition to ban certain books like sexual orientation books for elementary kids. I don't see no problem with that, folks. It's not just saying that we don't want them to see other stuff, which a lot of us don't. We don't want them to even know about the ordinary, regular stuff, what we call man and woman, and they definitely don't want nobody to see transgenders and stuff like that. So, on any sexual thing, children shouldn't be seeing that as whatever it is. Shouldn't be seeing that as a young age. Should wait till they start getting into middle school so they can start teaching them the proper sex education. So I think they should ban books for little kids like that, talking about any sexual orientation, any. So that's my opinion, folks. Like I said, like, subscribe, or comment on that. Let's let the kids be kids, okay? Because it's already tough today. Kids can't be with them cell phones. They get to see all that garbage at an early age. You really don't want to give your kid a cell phone early. So with these school shooting and bullying and all kind of stuff going on, you're afraid. So you want to give them that phone so they can call you right away, which I understand in this type of climate we have today. It's a sad, sad situation, folks, but it's reality. All right. Next issue I want to go to is called the BBB, the big, beautiful bill that our President Donald Trump is talking about. And here I want to just make a statement on this, folks. Like I said earlier at the beginning of the podcast, we know that the rich rules the world. Don't forget that. Don't get caught up in all that racism and all that other stuff. We know a little bit of that goes on, but it's not the big problem. The big problem is class warfare. Always been class warfare. And what I mean by that, money. Money rules the world, folks. Even in the Bible, if you believe in the Bible, it said give Caesar his and give God his. So we have to understand that. So with this big, beautiful bill, he's saying that no tax for overtime. I agree with that. I don't know the full effects of it. I don't know the details. But if it's just a straight across the board, after 40 hours, you don't get taxed at overtime, that could bring a lot of money for people that jobs offer overtime. And I get this, folks. A lot of jobs don't offer overtime. If it was a perfect world, then all the jobs have overtime. But we got to start doing something for the middle class, because the middle class is dying. It's been dying. All we're going to have is the haves and the haves not. You're either going to be rich or you're going to be poor. Because if we don't start giving to the middle class, they're the ones that pay for both sides. They pay for the people that don't work, that the welfare, all the welfare programs, all the handouts, and they help the rich get rich by buying their clothes, cars, food like that. Because if we don't have people working, then the rich can't get rich. And if we don't have people working, the government can't feed people that can't feed themselves. So the middle class need a break. I've been hollering about this for the longest. They need a break. So let's see if he gets this passed. Hopefully, it's just straight across the board. No tax for overtime, and also no tax for tips. We've been, and I know some of the people gonna argue, oh, the poor. We've been giving to the poor all our lives. I've been working for a long time, folks. I've been paying federal taxes a long time, state taxes. Uh, People been. I know people where they get these big income tax check, child's tax credit. All who pays for that, folks? I do, and you do that work that make a certain amount of money. Now we don't mind helping. We just get mad when people start staying on it for a long period of time. Because we think it should be a rotation, a temporary thing. And I think so. That's just the proper way. Now we know some people have disabilities and stuff like that. We're not even talking about that. But we talking about the people that just want to just stay on it and not do anything. We got to get them rotating. We got to get them rotating into society. Because who wants to go to work? I don't want to go to work every day and put up with all that mess. But I have to. I got to feed yourself. And my church going people out there, it's in the Bible. If you don't work, you don't eat. You're supposed to work by the sweat of your brow. That's part of our punishment for disobeying God if you believe in God. So we all know this, folks. We know this stuff. So let's not get caught up in all these little things. Because they want us to fight each other on these small issues. They do. Because the rich need a labor force. That's the reality, folks. This is hard-hat conversations. We got to tell the truth, folks. I know it hurts. The rich need a labor force. They just give us enough to keep us happy so we don't riot in the streets and go crazy. Now, every now and then we'll get a little out of hand, and then they'll send authorities in to quail it down and stuff like that. And those that work in this, they don't get involved because they don't want to lose their jobs. They barely making it over, and they don't want to lose what little possessions and what little things they have. So they're not going to make too much noise. They'll make a little, but not like riots in the street. That's when the poor and they don't have, and people that don't have nothing to lose, they get out there and start tearing up and doing stuff like that. So that's just the way the world is. It's cruel, folks. You know, just too many greedy people in the world, and there's nothing we can do about it. We wish they would share some of the wealth and cut some of this poverty down. It just won't happen. It just, he said it on the poor, Jesus said the poor will always be with us. They still here with us, right, folks? And it's growing. Homelessness and stuff like that. So it's a sad state, folks, but it's part of our reality. But in the meantime, folks, like I said, I'm going to go back to this big, beautiful bill. He said no tax on the overtime, which I like. No tax on tips, which I like. Then he said for small businesses, they're going to get a big deduction. And don't forget, folks, welfare is not going nowhere. It's not going to get cut. Because if they cut welfare, it'll be a third world country over here, parts of it. And we don't want that. Like I said, they need a labor force, folks. They're going to have a section that not going to work at all. And then you're going to have that section that's going to get a little bit of help, but we got to keep them working. That's just the reality, folks. Those politicians and everything else will tell you something different. For instance, you go to church. The preacher or the rabbi, whoever, tell you, the imam tell you you need to do this, you need to get better at this, you need to that, and you need that. And the majority of them are living good, folks. They don't have to worry about light bill, gas bill, transportation, food. Let's be honest, folks. But they tell you to give all that you can. But yet they storing all their stuff in their storehouses. Their children going to good schools. Their inner family is doing well. There's nothing wrong with helping out the church, folks. But what happened is that they become gods themselves, some of them, not all of them, folks, but some of them. And then you start hearing reports of $65 million jets, driving these big fancy cars, $1,000 suits on every Sunday. The Bible said, come as you are. But yet we in this, the church has become part of the world. It's a fashion show, and among a lot of other things. I know the church is made up of messed up people. That's why we come to church, because we're messed up. And we come for some healing, spiritual guidance. But we got a lot of the world in there now, folks. It's like having a concert before you get the word. There's nothing wrong with music, folks, but come on now. Sometimes we get out of hand. And there's the pastor, whoever he is leading the charge. He's telling you a lot how to prosper down here. There's nothing wrong with getting a few things and living good. That way you can share stuff with folks. But he also needs to teach you how to get upstairs too. So that's just one example, folks. There's a lot of other things. We have to be mindful. So, like I said, give Caesar's his, give God's here. At the end of the day, money runs the world, but that doesn't have to change you at all. So don't get caught up in this Democrat, Republican this. Vote for some of the good social issues and vote for some of the good money issues. Okay, folks? It's a tough world out there, folks. I struggle every day of where to go, here and there. I'm in it with you guys and girls. We can do it, folks, but we just got to work together, okay? Just remember that the rich people run the world down here. It's their kingdom. And all we can do is just keep fighting and try to get the best we can. This is Hard Hat Conversations. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a blessed night. See ya.